where were you gonna go? Where are we gonna go to dinner tomorrow with Nanny? I'm like, why are you bringing this up like 24 hours, less than 24 hours before? Like, I needed more of a heads up. And she goes, do you know anywhere around that sings happy birthday to you when you
Anywhere?
Well, not everywhere sings. Like, people will give you desserts. Like, nice restaurants will just give you a nice dessert, but like the hood places sing.
I don't go to many nice places. Every place I go to, like, happy birthday.
What's the claps and everything?
Yeah.
So that's what I just got out of. We went to Red Robin.
Yum.
Which is actually the same place that we used to go at my last job when like we had a tough day. We'd go to Red Robin after work.
That would make me more depressed.
Oh, that's why we went there. I mean, that's what you got to do. But happy 89th birthday to my grandma, dude. Anita hopefully gets on the pod here in 2026. That'd be a great thing to happen. But no, I mean, she's kicking it. She's doing good. You know, she got a busted arm. Her knee's in rough shape, but she's still getting through. And we were like making fun of her.
It's a busted arm. Is she
like
hurt or
her
injured?
Shoulder, both. Hurt and injured. But
if she was in a division clinching game, would she play? Would she power through, or is it too severe?
Oh, she'd play.
All right,
dude, she's got
mad respect.
She just wants to lay it all out there, but that's just
she cares about this damn team too much.
Personality, yeah, exactly. But we were like laughing because she's diabetic and she eats the most.
That's hilarious.
It is, but she's the worst diabetic possible. Like, she eats every time you go over there. She has like cookies, those sugar covered like orange slices. You ever had those? Like, they're like peach rings, basically.
Are they like dried and like sticky?
Yeah, very sticky, sticky. But they're like the shape of an orange slice, and
it's an old school candy.
It is. And
I was eating them circus peanuts back when I was in the hood.
Yeah, what do they call? Are they Mike and Ike's or
Mike and Ike's are
looking? No. There's like the Good and Plenty.
Good and Plenty's.
My grandma Rips loves the Good and Plenty's.
Got any Werther's in her purse? Werther's caramels.
But she was like going to the diabetic doctor. My mom was like telling the story. She's going to the diabetic, like, I don't know, the guy that helps you when
specialist.
Diabetes. Yeah. And she's going there, and on the way there they stopped at this like place called Johnny Cakes. I don't know if you've ever been there. So good, but all their breakfast is like Oreo, red velvet, pancake, and like all this stuff. And she like ate all that right before she went to that doctor. Nice. Who's gonna be like, you're eating too much sweets and sugar. We were talking about like
you
eating
throw
healthy.
Them off the scent.
We're talking about eating healthy, and she's like, oh, I eat oatmeal all the time, but I put 3 spoonfuls of sugar in there. And we were like, what?
That's how I used to eat Rice Krispies. You know that? Like, did you do that with the cereal?
I did with Cheerios, not Rice
Cheerios.
Krispies.
It was the same thing. I did the same, but I would chop up some banana, put it in there, and just throw like a whole bag of sugar on it. It was a go-to cereal when you did that.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, I love Cheerios. And then I had it without sugar for the first time. And I was like, these are kind of
I thought these were supposed to be heart healthy, and then I did that 10 times. I got diabetes.
Well, Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, guys. 2026 for episode 26.
Yeah, it's fitting.
Serendipitous.
Very fitting. This is the first episode we're recording in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say we're new men. We're resolutionized.
Dry January going well.
Yeah, dry January. We are moving.
It has been 1 week since we drank. It felt like an eternity. I missed you, old friend.
Yeah, well, I miss chat too, dude.
I'm
starting to miss chat. And it's getting nice that we can record on weekdays, and we got lights, and we got mics, and we got all this stuff now.
Flag. I forgot to shout out George in the last episode. Thank you, George, for the flag.
Yeah, thank you. It's dope, and it looks great on camera too. Like it really pops. And free branding, dude.
100%.
Free branding. So with that, 17 subs away.
We are at 83, which that is at the time of this recording. We've been gaining about a subscriber every clip that we post. I wouldn't be surprised if by the time this episode comes out, we're not closer to 100, but subscribe. We say it a million times. We are so close to Toledo. I've never felt so close to accomplishing something as us going to Toledo.
Yeah.
I'm ready to book the
excited for
hotel.
that. What I was thinking about this week too, which I know we didn't really talk about, but we need a podcast resolution. The reason we are sitting here is because of a resolution. So
I think we're both pretty aligned, though.
Well, right. We're both like gonna
drink less,
lose weight. We're in a competition. We'll probably talk about it.
Become gay.
Yeah, love each other more. Spend more time with each other. talk about Joe more in front of my girlfriend.
Yeah. Shut up, babe. I'm texting Chris.
But in reality, I do think we should have a resolution that's like numbers oriented for our pod. So I was thinking just 200.
200 subs by the. I think that's very attainable. Snowball effect. We're going crazy. Mm-hmm. Last episode got 80 views.
And if we don't have a goal, like, we're not shooting towards anything. And I think you have to get to like 500 subs to unlock something.
Yeah, but that was like if you go live where you can get super chats. That would be classic. If I was
we might go live.
Shout out for the sub, super chat. We got a super chat from Nick. Thank you, Nick. Just doing that for 10 hours a day.
Yeah, for real.
Now 1,000 is where we can actually make some money.
Yeah,
I don't want to make our goal too lofty. I want it to be attainable. It took us a year to get to 83. I think finishing off this year at 200 would be awesome.
Yeah, year 200 a year, average pace. But anyways, I am here with my friend Joseph, who is Blueberry from Willy Wonka's like biggest op right now.
Can you see my sweatsuit right now?
I don't. Yeah, you can see it, dude.
I'm lifting it up. I also have a huge hole in this sock. I don't know if you can see that. But
dude, get some new socks.
I just have a problem with throwing.
Too big.
The problem is, like, I have a lot of new socks. I just have a problem with throwing them away. But I told Chris I'm wearing a full Marissa bought fit. She bought me this sweatsuit. She made me and Chris these hats. Reason for that, mine and Marissa's.
Wait. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
5-year anniversary is in 2 days. So I know Chris said his 8 months is tomorrow. So we're both lover boys. We both love our girls.
Yeah.
Shout out the biggest supporters of the pod.
Yeah, for real. Shout out the biggest supporters. I was going to say this too. I'm wearing my whole outfit my girlfriend bought me too.
Let's go, dude.
I got the Chat hasn't seen these yet, but I got the pajamas on, and I got this sweatshirt she got from California. So.
Let's go. I love Marissa and I love Chris.
And I love Therese and I love Joe. So
I'm here with my friend Chris though, who pulled a Russell Wilson. He said, Bronco country, let's ride.
Facts, dude. Proud
New
owner.
whip, O.J. Simpson whip.
Proud leasing agent of a Bronco Sport 2025. They call it the Big Bend. You could call me a Big Bender. That is the model. That's the trim.
What is it? Huh? I like that.
There's Big Back. That's
what they used to call me back in high school.
Big Bend. There's Outback. Sorry, I'm butchering these. Outer Banks, and then there's Badlands, and I got Big Bend. It's the cheapest, but yeah, I was like, did not think I could drive a Bronco, dude. I thought that like when you lease and everything, it's like you're screwed. Like you don't. I didn't know that you have to get the newest year. I've been driving the same car since 2015, or like since I could drive. I had a 2011 Ford Escape. I thought
it has to be the newest car.
Pretty much. Like, they want all their there's no 2024s that I could lease, really.
I don't... Well, so do they just let people drive it for 1 year and then they sell it as a used car?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or a lot of people buy out their lease, or they just, yeah.
I don't understand how that model makes money, though. So, well, yeah, I mean, you'll talk about it. Your lease is $385 a month, $0 down, right? If you do that for a year... That's about $4,800, and a new Bronco I would assume is like $30,000, and you would sell that used Bronco for probably like $20,000.
No, it would sell for like $15,000.
So
as soon as you drive the car off the lot, it loses like $5,000 to $10,000.
How are they not losing money on this? It doesn't make sense.
I don't understand the car industry. I just bought one and I still don't understand it. But I'll walk you guys through my day.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'll talk you through it. So I was really self-conscious because I had missed work a few days because I was sick. I was like, I mean, it was also like New Year's and Christmas. So you already have the day and a half off a week or whatever.
Not even that, though. It looks incredibly sus. There's nothing you could say to convince them that you were sick. They're going, oh, yeah, buddy's sick the day after New Year's.
Right. Well, what I will say is I emailed everybody that I was taking my car into the shop the day before New Year's Eve. And then fast forward through the whole weekend, I was basically like, oh my God, because I was couldn't go on Friday because my car was in the shop. So I was like, gotta work from home, car's in the shop. And then on Saturday, the
should have got a jobby.
Joby just rip the helicopter straight to work. But shout out Pat for dumping that thing because it pumped to the moon.
Dude, what are you doing?
Sorry, dude. I haven't drank in a while.
Sorry, chat. I apologize.
I put the thing away.
We just lost like 30 subscribers.
Long story short, I felt bad, and Monday comes around, and I still was like, I don't have a car, but I got my grandma. So I knew at this point the dealer had called me on Saturday, and they said,
"You had your grandma?"
Yeah. Well, hold on. So on Saturday,
I don't have a car, but I have my grandma.
On Saturday, the dealership called. I had her car. On Saturday, the dealership called me, or not the dealership, the mechanic where I took my car into. They call me and they say, we have been doing diagnostics on this for 6 hours. Normally, we start charging after 2 hours. Like, I'm going to need you to commit to paying us like $500 just to keep looking at it. And I was like,
that seems like an indictment on them. How does it take you that long to figure it out? Mechanic.
So what was happening is
it's such an archaic piece of technology. They were like smashing rocks and you're like,
well, it was so funny because on Monday morning, I like, I'll get there. But basically, they explained to me on Saturday, my car was pulling, like drawing power while it was dead. So, or like while it was off. While I was
something electrical like wasn't turning off, and that's why your battery was getting cooked.
Yeah, and then I they're basically like, yeah, so it just keeps dying over time, and every time you turn it and leave it overnight, it's gonna be dead by the morning because like it's draining all the battery like rapidly. So they couldn't figure out where, because every time they would like leave the door open or like do something, it would just die. So every time they would run the test, it would die, and that's why they had to like reset it 10 times. And he was like, he called me back twice. He's like, my lead mechanic or technician's like banging his head into a wall on this one. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, all right, run the extra test. So then I'm at that point like, my car's, I probably am not gonna want to pay whatever this is gonna be. So I immediately start doing my research, start talking to people, find out I have a discount at Ford through family. Shout out Uncle Kevin. And then I just can start the search, but I start realizing like the Broncos are the cheapest lease to get into right now. It's like for Ford. Like I asked the guy,
nobody's buying them.
I don't know. I think it's because they made so many.
Yeah.
I think they made too much.
They just have way too many in stock.
I guess, but basically I like realized that's what I want. I was looking at this one truck, but it was such a small truck. It's the Maverick. And the Maverick is like you're taller than that truck, so like I didn't want to get made fun of by truck drivers for like having that truck. But I do want a truck at some point because like I want to like be able to put a couch in there and just like I want to be able to buy big items without any like, how am I gonna get this home? Like what are we gonna do? Like I want to be able to buy a huge TV just on a whim. Like I don't like being limited in that fashion.
Yeah.
So long story short,
you could fit most TVs though if you put the seats down in the back of a car. I don't know.
Well, maybe like
a 100-inch TV.
I don't know. Maybe a bike. Like, what do you can't fit a bike in there.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely just put your seats on.
I could start doing cool stuff. I could start bringing
yeah, but
huge
then,
items.
But then you're the truck guy, and when I go to move, I'm like, hey, truck guy Chris, come help me out, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but everybody
Chris,
loves a truck guy.
Can I live in your truck bed? Marissa kicked me out again.
Everybody loves a truck guy. Everybody loves a good truck guy.
Get taken advantage of. It's all fake.
But no, so I knew I was going to end up in a Bronco. I didn't even try, but I basically work a half day because I felt bad. Stole my grandma's car Sunday night, and I was like, I'm using this, and I'm going to get a new car, and I'll bring it back after I get the new car. She was like, all right, I don't have anything going on except for this one doctor appointment, but I can call 5 people, and someone will take me. I was like, all right, good looks. and I start whipping the Jeep around. I go to the first dealership and I say, "Hey yo, Sommer, I wanna test drive. I want to test drive this whip." And he's like, "It's on hold, but it doesn't seem like this guy's gonna buy it. So go ahead, you can test drive it." It's the only one that they had in the lot, and it was black. I knew I wanted black or I wanted tan, and I test drive it.
It's very progressive.
And I get back in there. I get back in there and I go, "Yeah, I liked it. Like, let's talk numbers." And then he just starts spitballing me numbers. He's high. I was like, oh, I didn't really want to pay that. Talk him down a little bit. And he was basically like, well, the only one I have in stock on the lot is sold. And the guy's supposed to come pick it up. It's on hold for a guy to come negotiate later today. I was like, okay. What about like, he's like, I have 5 of them that are like in transit, like on the way here. It could be 1 to 3 days, but they're these colors and whatever, blah blah blah. And then he's like, but I have the more expensive model. So he runs all of my numbers with the expensive model because that's all they had in stock. And then I was like, nah, that's too expensive, but I appreciate it. I leave, and I like take his card or whatever, and he had my number at that point. But I leave. I'm 5 minutes away. I'm going just to the next Ford dealership, and he calls me, and he's like, I can do exactly the numbers I want. He goes, I can do 410, 500 down, and I can do it like the black one. The guy just backed out. I was like, so he backed out 5 minutes after I left. Like, are you serious? So
no, there's no way Sommer would lie to you.
And I went into all these, and I was like, hey, listen, I want a car today. I want to be in a car at the end of the day today. And and then whatever. So I get through that, and he has that. So then I at least have real numbers to work with at the second dealer. Second dealer doesn't have either color I want, but she was super nice and talked to me. She ends up getting me like $5 higher, but no money down. The first guy had money down, 500 down. But I wasn't talking to any of these people about trade-in, and they were both at like 410. Basically 410, 412. And then I was asking both of them, they're like, could you ballpark like what you would give me for this car? Like, it's a 2011 Ford Escape. It's in the shop. Like, can't tell you what's wrong with it. And I was just like, you know what I mean? I knew what was wrong with it. The guy at the second dealer, I was like, can you give me a ballpark? And she's like, let me go talk to my manager. She goes, I get a call from the dealership, and the guy goes, so the only part that exists to fix what you have is in Iowa. I can overnight it, and it's $2,000 like to fix. And I was like, I just looked at the value of my car before I started shopping. It was $2,000.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so it's worth $0 right now. If you want to drive this car again, you have to pay what it's worth to drive it. And then I was like, if you like, I was basically like, if you put it back together, because I had gone there Monday morning before work, and all the doors were ripped off, and everything was like, just, he's like, yeah, you want to grab your badge out of it, because I had to get my badge to go to work, and he's like, you want to grab it out of your car? I'm like, yeah. And I go to grab it, all the doors are ripped off, like everything's screwed, and the guy calls me back at the second dealer, or like while I'm on the phone with him, tells me it's $2,000. I go, can I drive this to a dealership? Like, I'm just trying to dump it, and I think I can get a trade-in for it. And he goes, yeah, like, you should be able to take it there if you go in the next 5 to 10 hours. But if you go tomorrow morning, like, you won't be able to drive this thing. You'll have to tow it. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I go, the lady comes back, and she goes, yeah, we could give you about $1,000, and there's $1,000 rebate if you get a Bronco. So you get $2,000 for the trade-in if you trade in any vehicle. If you trade in any vehicle, you get $1,000, and then they were going to give about $1,000 on top. And I was like, oh, okay, sounds good. And she's like, but I just don't have, like, we could trade our red one for a black one, and it would be here tomorrow. And I'm like, in the back of my head, that is not an option. Like, I cannot tow my car or else you're not going to give me $1,000 for it. Yeah. So
it just pulls up with none of the doors on, no tires, and you're like, here it is. Where's my $1,000?
So I call. I knew though there was one that was kind of far away, which was a risky move to drive far away.
Well, at this point, you were just scheming. You were like, I need to get a car and get my car here as soon as possible.
Exactly. And then I go to this other dealership as I'm like, I don't know, I'll just stop by there. It's like only a mile away, whatever. I go there. This nice guy, he's 28 years old. He's like our age, basically. Prime spot, dude. His desk was right by the door. So it was like, open the door, and he's like, hey, man, how can I help you? Immediate service. And then at that point, I already been to 2, so I was like, listen, like, if you can beat this number, I want to get a car. And, like, do you have any? Well, first I'm like, do you have any colors? He goes, we have 10. I'm like, oh, I haven't even seen 10 yet today. So I go look at it. I'm like, that is dope. And then I actually started liking it more than the black one. So then he gets me, and he goes, yeah, I could probably do $1,000 for your car on top of the $1,000 rebate. And I'm like, all right, man, like, give me some time. I got to go get this car. And then the last thing he says is like, oh, like, do you have the title? And I was like, oh, my mom had the title. So I have to like drive to Farmington, get it, go back. Then I have to, like go drop the Jeep off my grandma's car at the mechanic, get in my car, one last ride with Jabron Lames from Tuffy's all the way to it was like Woodward.
I'm picturing like pieces of it just flying off as you're driving it over. Like, stay together, baby. I need you one last time.
Yeah, it was like making noises. The guy was like, I was like, where should I park? He goes, honestly, just pull it right up front. Like, park it right out front. I'm like, I am not doing that. I parked it in like the back corner, and I was like, he at one point while we were like doing the deal, he's like walked out there and he's like, dude, I didn't see it. Where'd you park? I'm like, as far back as possible. Like, it's by the exit like thing. That's probably like a 5-minute walk in the back corner over there. And yeah, he was like, honestly, I thought it was a nice car when I was looking at the outside, and then I drove it up front, and I can see why you want to trade that thing in. It's probably about time. And I was like, yeah.
Too late. You already signed the deadline, pal.
Yeah,
give me my Bronco.
And he at one point like came back after he was like, yeah, I think we can do 1,000 for you. He's like, what did you say was wrong with it again? I'm like, they just stopped in diagnostic phase. They never told me. But it's something with the battery. And he's like, but you got it here, huh? So you didn't need to jump? And I was like, yeah, but might not be the case in the morning. And he's like, all right. But long story short, gives me the full deal, $385, got under 4. It was insurance was cheaper than I thought. And then really once I got back there with the car, it was pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie, it was like an hour, which I was very happy with. And then one of the funniest parts, I forgot about this. You know how they send you the finance guy in the back at the end? He sends me to the back.
The closer.
Well, no, it's just the big boss who's trying to add all the warranties.
Right, yeah. He wants to. That's where they make their money.
Mm-hmm. And this guy's like, whatever. He's nice. He's older. And I'm wearing the fake rollie, dude. And and he
knew. He got you there.
No. He could not stop talking about it. He's like, I love that watch, man. Like, where'd you get it? And I was like, at that point, I was too far like deep to be like, it's fake. So I was like, it's my grandpa's. Like, when he passed, I got it. And like, he's like, oh, what year is it? I'm like, I don't know, man. I was like, I just had to get it repaired, actually. And he was like, what happened? I was like, oh, like one of the links fell off and the pin fell out and they lost the pin.
That's weird. That doesn't happen to Rolexes.
Right. And then he's like, oh, like whenever you take it to the dealer, no matter what, they always tell you what serial number and year it is. I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure what year it is. He's like, when I see you again, you got to tell me what that serial number is so we can get the year. Like, I love that thing. And I was like, thanks, man. Like, I appreciate it. That thing's famous, dude. It's a famous watch.
Yeah.
But no, that was the end. And then drove home, been driving it, scooped Joe today. It's pretty cool.
It's a good whip,
bro. I'm happy with it.
Boy has remote start now. No showing up to work late.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's not going to solve that problem. But
means I get 5 more minutes of sleep.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't got to sit in the car. Well, really, since I bought it, it was so cold like a couple weeks ago. But since I bought it, it's been nice.
It's not bad now.
Like, I keep remote starting. It's like 40 in the morning, and I'm like remote starting my car. Like, I need to defrost it, and it's like there's nothing. But
you're just doing it because you can.
Yeah,
exactly. You're going to be doing it in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, I do it at work. I get parked in a parking garage, and I just like, I'm like, oh, swipe it on. I'm going to turn this boy on before I walk out.
See you guys, men out. Just like,
yeah, exactly.
Showing everyone your new keys.
Hell yeah. But no, it feels good, man. It feels good to be in a new whip and, just moving up in life and about to move in with old girl soon. So things are looking on the up, and I'm happy. And I'm just happy I don't have to deal with like car problems for a while. But
knock on wood. Right. But yes.
Right. Well, even if I do, I just take it into the dealer. And I just go, fix this.
Right.
I don't have to like go to a mechanic and be like, please don't be more than $2,000.
Yeah.
So, no, but all smooth, all whatever. So, what do we got on the agenda for today? What do we have on the?
We're getting into some more important business. How to smash your face into making it be beautiful.
Yeah. So, obviously this is the first episode where we don't have to talk about being sick for a while.
Yeah.
But
now we're talking about enhancing yourself.
Exactly.
We're going to take you from baseline to greatness.
Step bed,
1, get a hammer.
As I was laying in bed, I was looking at all these, they're called look maxing videos. So it's basically this one guy, and he's like 19 years old, and he's like super famous right now. He's blowing up clavicular. I thought it was like clavicle, but it's not.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's his streaming name or whatever.
Okay.
And he basically just does this thing called look maxing, which is doing whatever you can to look as best as possible. So some of the notable look maxing techniques.
It's not working out or dieting or.
Well, it's a part of it. Like he does like work out every day. He does eat very healthy. He like, that's a part of it. But he does he takes it to the extreme. So he does this thing called like bone crushing, which is basically just smashing, like literally breaking your jaw like all over. He does stuff where he like pushes his like eye bags in, and then he like wears a full face of makeup every day. Because I guess like when your face is swollen, but you like shade it to whatever, you can make it look more like bony, I guess is probably a good word, or like
angular.
Yeah.
We could benefit from that, actually. This guy might be onto something.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, should I try this? Is this something I need to partake in?
What is supposed to be the benefit of breaking your jawbone?
Well, all of this is geared towards him just be like looking the best and like being the best and like being able to go to bars and pick up anybody or whatever.
But how does breaking your jaw make you look better? Did he ever give any sort of an answer?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it like, if you break it, it's not like you're breaking in one place. It's like you're doing a bunch of tiny breaks so that it like puffs, it like pops out, and it like.
Oh, it makes sharper. So it's not like the healing process or something that's supposed to make it look better. It is like actively being broken.
Yeah.
So he consistently lives with a broken jaw.
I don't know if he does it. I don't know exactly. I don't know the full facts behind the bone breaking, but I know that he just like breaks the jaw in many places with like literally a hammer. Like he takes a hammer to his jaw.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how good you look when you pull up to the bar and you talk to a girl and you're like, "Hey, Todd, love to meet you," because your entire face is smashed in.
But yeah, he does that. You know what else he does? I saw he takes those, like the sticky boobs that girls wear that they put over their nipples.
Mm-hmm.
He takes those and puts those on his shoulders, and he like puts them right on the like side of the shoulder right here, because then it makes your shoulders look bigger.
That's like, why doesn't he just do steroids
and kind of be like that a little bit? I'm sure he'll get there. Oh, he literally does meth. He does meth all the time. It's like a version. It's not straight meth, and he snorts it, but he does it all the time, and he calls it recharging, and it's literally because meth just makes you skinny.
God.
Yeah, this guy is like to the extreme look maxing, which I just think is like the craziest concept. And like the weird part to me is like it's working when you think about it. Like he's like getting famous.
But does he look
like
good?
Yeah, I think he's a very handsome guy. Do you want me to show you?
Yeah,
I can show you.
Yeah, we'll take a look. I'll be the judge of how handsome this guy is.
But I'm trying to think about what else he does. But he does all these streams with like, let's just go to his Instagram, I guess.
Sketch.
Yeah, I mean like all the famous people, but he does all these streams. His first one is his grandma taking a picture of him like shirtless.
Dude,
so funny. I'm trying to see the best.
Imagine making your grandma take a picture of you shirtless on meth after you just broke your jawbone. She probably survived the Great War.
Here, do you want to see that picture? Here.
Let's take a look at this guy.
It's like I wish you could see his face better. He's a handsome fella.
I give it to him. I mean, one beer.
It's just here's like a picture of him with a dog, like more wholesome, if you will. You see what I mean though? Like his face.
He doesn't look that much better though than like a normally attractive person. I don't find that to be worth it.
I'm not saying it's worth it by any means. I'm just saying it's a interesting concept that someone would subscribe to.
I think it's really stupid, and I think dude, I say this all the time, but like all this TikTok and streaming culture and making money off of literally having no discernible skills, it really frustrates me.
Well, yeah, but isn't that exactly what we're trying to do?
Drug addict.
That's what I'm saying.
We're educating people. This has content that people can take in, learn from it, grow from it. I'm not doing.
Yeah, but like let's say we do a challenge this year, and the challenge is like this week we're gonna do a liquid only diet. or like we're gonna eat beans for 1 week, and then like okay, so like let's say we do something like that where we do a bean week where we only eat beans, and then we like film like periodically us eating beans, and then we talk about it after, and let's say we got famous for that. Do you not think that the following week or 2 weeks later we would probably be like, all right, this week is the, I don't know, chicken only diet?
Nah,
like, you don't think we would just continue that path?
No.
There's a guy I watch on YouTube named Killdozer, and he does this. He does, I'm only eating red foods this week. I'm only eating food. I'm only eating beans. I'm only eating food I buy from whatever.
It's not sustainable, though. People will get bored of that eventually, and then they'll dish you, and then you'll realize, I quit my job for that TikTok money, and now my family's going to die because all I did was eat beans for 2 months.
The guy that I watch has been popping for like, I started watching him when he was averaging like 8 to 12,000 views. Now he's averaging like 50 to 100,000 views, and he's still going. He's just doing all this other stuff. I don't know, dude.
Good for him,
He
I
used
guess.
to play football at UCLA.
God,
He's
what a fall from grace.
He's a lineman.
What a fall from grace, man. He could have had it all.
But no, I like the guy, Killdozer. Shout out Killdozer.
Well,
He's dope. He's on YouTube.
speaking of diets, improving yourself, I've been on the carnivore diet.
Yep.
5 days now.
Looking meaty.
No, come on, dude.
Looking like a
think
rhino.
that Cartoon
over
Network
there.
show, Mr. Meaty, where they're all...
Bro is
I'm
looking
talking
like
about
a
the
rhino.
weird freak puppets.
Yeah. Wait, Mr. Meaty. I thought that was just a part of... I forget what show that was. The one where they were like on a boat or whatever. The weird one. It was Cartoon Network. It was
No, I think it was its own show, and it was like 2 weird freak puppets.
Mr. Meaty.
I think so.
There was a game called Mr. Meaty, I think, too. It was like a red guy.
No, I don't remember
forget
that,
what that
man.
is.
I don't know what you and your friends were playing in high school, but yeah, carnivore diet. It's day 5 since Friday. Since before I started this diet, I'm down about 8 to 9 pounds already. A lot of it's water weight, granted, but I'm gonna do it for about a month and see how it goes. But I am feeling lean. I'm feeling kind of crazy though. The biggest thing I wanted to relay, I guess, to you guys, if you were ever thinking about the carnivore diet, it's really horrible.
Can't poop.
Quite the opposite. Can I be crass?
Mm-hmm.
It's been diarrhea city, dude. Population Joe. I've never, have you ever heard those videos or people, I feel like guys always talk about like, dude, if girls had diarrhea, they're going to the doctor immediately. But guys, we have diarrhea every day and it's no big deal to us.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't had diarrhea in like 5 years probably. This is, dude, but
Only the best content. We're educating you guys.
Dude,
we don't want to get famous for dumb shit.
I'm trying to warn you guys about the carnivore diet. Since I started doing this, it is like so bad to where like I'll be laying in bed, can't even risk it, bro. I'm not even risking farting because it's just going to be, I told Marissa it's Splash Zone, dude.
So walk me through what you've been eating. So in preparation for carnivore diet, I would imagine you went to the grocery store.
Costco.
Tell me what that looked like. Yeah.
Went to Costco, got a large case of eggs, got a few packs of meat sticks, got a huge bag of chicken breast, 3 pounds of ground beef, and I think that's it. Marissa got some other stuff. I did eat a salmon patty. I think that's all I got though right now. So the majority of what I'm eating, I meal prep some chicken, but the process has been pretty much every morning I eat about 3 eggs. For lunch, I ate a little protein pack.
Do you eat before work or at work?
Before.
Okay.
So just eat some eggs before work. During lunch, I'll eat like a little protein pack with some salami and some cheese in it. You're not really supposed to do cheese, but that is one of the parts I'm cheating at. And then when I get home, I'll eat a few meat sticks. I'll then eat about a chicken breast and a half, and then I'll finish it off with a protein shake. And then that's pretty much been the gist of it. So
Protein shake, isn't that also not?
you can have protein shakes. So you can have animal products. So technically the protein you're supposed to use is like collagen or like beef-based protein. That's kind of the other way I'm cheating is I'm just using regular protein because in my mind,
Okay.
like, really what's the difference in that, I guess.
Okay.
And that is like, I need some other flavor besides just meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I need something, dude.
Yeah.
So I'll admit I am cheating a little bit, but
Do you do water or milk with protein?
I'm doing milk. But that's an animal product. It said
Yeah,
it's carnivore diet is animal products. That's what it said.
Fair.
Well, I'm not cheating.
I would do the same thing. I would do cheese and milk. I feel like it's fair. So basically,
I think it's fair,
And
yeah.
then you're just throwing protein in there. I
But-
think that's fine.
Yeah, so
Obviously, whatever. I just think it's important to be able to sustain it. How long are you trying to go for?
a month. I'm going to do it for a month and then assess from there. if I notice really good results, so dude, when we went to Costco, Marissa was like, "What can you eat on this?" And I was like, "I never looked it up." So I like looked it up, and she was like, "Why do you even want to do this?" And I was like, "I don't know. I think Joe Rogan did it once." And she was like, "What are the benefits?" I was like, "I think it's supposed to make you skinny." And so I looked up this video, and when we got home from that,
it is good for you. People say first week you feel terrible, but then after you feel like superhuman.
Right. I'll get into the other like side effects I've been feeling after this. But when we got home and I was watching the video, the guy was like, "If you have type 2 diabetes," and I was like, "Yep," and he was like, "Inflammation," I was like, "Yep," and he was like, "Depression," I was like, "Yep," and she was like, "Joe, that's not you. He's not describing you right now." And then at the end he goes, "Also, you could possibly lose some weight on it," and I was like, So I don't really know. I guess there are like a bunch of reasons why you are supposed to do it. It's supposed to be like what our ancestors lived off of and the diets that we eat now, full of processed foods and all that stuff. It's not good for you. So it's getting back to the basics in a sense, but. That leads me into side effect number 2. The guy in the video was talking about basically like a carb withdrawal, right? So I'm a self-admitted carb guy. I eat a ton of tortilla shells, a lot of rice, a lot of carbs in general, and it really does feel like a withdrawal. So the last like 2 side effects go hand in hand, but it's not like I feel hungry. It's a really weird feeling, like similar to when I've tried to quit nicotine, where I almost feel like hollow, like my brain's not functioning correctly, and like I'm just missing a piece of something that I've had so consistently, and I just can't function without it,
Yeah.
So that's been tough, like especially at work. But hand in hand with that, with the withdrawal symptoms, I've been just profusely sweating at pretty much every hour of every day. I'm sweating pretty bad right now.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like at the gym. So we'll talk about the gym like slightly after this, but like at the gym when I finish on the treadmill, my entire shirt is soaked. Like everybody next to me it's absolute splash zone. It's flying off of me. It's so bad. And then even at work when I'm just sitting in my chair, dude, I'm like, how are people not noticing this right now? It's like almost like dripping down my head and like down my neck. Like so 2 reasons behind that. I looked it up. You're familiar with like meat sweats, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty common thing, but secondary reason for it, I guess, carbs naturally kind of lock in your water. And then like carbs are a big reason for why you hold a lot of water weight. So that's partially, I'm sure, why I've like lost a bunch of weight just to start, but I'm just like losing every morsel of water in my body at every hour. Dude, I'll like wake up in the morning and it's just like soak zone in the bed. It's so bad.
Are you drinking enough water? Because normally you don't. I feel like aren't you not a water drinker?
No, Marissa got me that water bottle. I would say I drink about 5 of my Awalas a day. I'm probably drinking about 90 liters. No,
I got a big
milliliters.
Oh, I got it right here. Dude, have you seen my Awala? Did you see it in the car? It's huge.
You got a big boy.
I've been sipping on this boy. Shout out my girlfriend, dude. This is a girlfriend episode.
Yeah.
Boom. Big ass boy.
I'm not joking. I am losing that volume of water probably every hour of every day right now.
So while you were talking a little bit, I went ahead and did the liberty of looking up some fun facts about the carnivore diet.
Okay.
I thought we could go.
So read them off. But when I tried looking up stuff on the carnivore diet, when I just like plugged into YouTube and I looked up carnivore diet, like all the results were like, why is a carnivore diet bad? Why should you never do this? Why you'll die if you do the carnivore diet? No, I don't know if these are going to be fun or good.
It's more ChatGPT, and I was like, just give me fun facts.
Okay.
I wasn't like,
you didn't sway it.
Right. Exactly. So it says you could survive on steak alone for a while.
Okay.
Historically, some Arctic populations lived nearly 100% on animal foods for long periods.
Hell yeah.
Again, these are for chat just tuning in right now. We got carnivore diet, fun facts, and then Joe's going to respond because he just started a carnivore diet.
Okay.
So your breath may get aggressive. Many people report keto breath or like an acetone smell.
Acetone? Isn't that like
it's basically your body's saying, I run on fat now.
What the hell, ChatGPT?
This is what I thought. Look,
isn't acetone like nail polish remover? And my breath is going to smell like volatile chemicals?
Probably.
Does it?
You are done, pal.
I haven't heard anything about that yet.
But poop frequency often drops dramatically.
Yeah, I've heard the first like week is diarrhea city, and then after that, just say goodbye to shitting. It's gone.
Yeah. Hunger can disappear.
I really don't feel that hungry that often. I've heard on the carnivore diet you can really just eat as much as you want.
It says you excrete more sodium, so you sweat. Many carnivore dieters crave salt or drink bone broth like it's Gatorade. You craving salt over there, dude?
I did notice that those protein packs I'm eating for lunch, I was eating it, and this guy I work with was like, dude, I used to eat those from Costco. Just be careful. The sodium levels on those things are out of this world. Like, I've never seen something with that much sodium. So maybe that's just tiding me over.
Okay, so it says initial weight loss is often water and glycogen, not fat. True fat loss still depends on calories. Physics always wins. But it says you might lose weight really fast and then stall for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Social life gets weird. Where do you want to eat becomes stressful when the answer is basically somewhere with a grill.
I just went out to eat with my family after we went to the movies on Sunday, and they're like, where do you want to go? And I was like, we can only go to a barbecue place. And then I just got a pound of pulled chicken. It was $20. My dad paid for it. Shout out, Dad. Thank you.
Where'd you go? What served you that?
Woodpile.
Oh, valid.
It's like 1 pound.
Did you suggest it there?
Yeah, because I knew I could get a pound of pulled chicken, dude.
Dude, what the hell?
So as
it's
you guys
the only
can see,
diet where Costco feels like a health store.
Yeah, honestly, that's where I went. But as you guys can see from this research from ChatGPT, it's a really good diet, and everybody should do it.
Yeah, and it does go into, like, Joe and I just started yesterday, basically, the Shamrock Slimmer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a kind of competition. Our boy Josh hooked us up with his friend group. I guess that's done this for several years, but it's pretty simple. You weigh in at the beginning. You do a $25 buy-in. You weigh in every week. And if you weigh more than you did the previous week, it's $5 more to the pot. And whoever lost the most percentage weight at the end of the competition wins it all. So,
well, no, not necessarily. It's weekly.
I don't know how.
I don't really know.
I hope it's not. I want it to be overall. But moral of the story is if you lose a lot of weight, you're going to win some money.
Yeah. And it's just, I like it because you just hold people accountable, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's going to be sick. But kind of like the last thing I'll say with the carnivore diet, I don't want to sound like an excuse guy right now at all, but I have noticed, been running a lot, and ever since I started this diet, I think it's because I don't have any carbs in my system, so my body doesn't really have any short-term energy to pull from. I'm having such a more difficult time running on the treadmill.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
your body like craves carbs when you run. Like,
yeah.
People say you should eat carbs when you run.
100%. So when I ran the other day, it didn't really feel that good. And then I had like the finale of my 5K improvement plan today.
Yeah, you said you botched it. What happened?
Dude, I was super upset because I felt like my training was going really good until the last run and then today's run. And it was very simple. Just run 3.1 miles of 5K at about a 10-minute pace. So it should have been about 31 minutes. I'd done all the training. I felt really good. It said set your speed to between 5.7 and 5.9. And I was like, dude, I've been grinding. I've been feeling pretty good. So I set it up to 6. And I ran like 1.4 miles to start. And, dude, just drenched. And it felt like my heart was going to explode.
Yeah.
I was telling myself beforehand, it's all mental. You got this. Just tell yourself you can finish and you will. I literally couldn't. My legs and my lungs just weren't functioning. So I had to stop and walk. And then you know how it is, bro. Like once you stop, it's not like I could just
harder to get back.
Right. Like it's not like I could just stop and walk for a second and then be like, okay, now I'll just finish off the last mile and sit.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
It was like, so then the rest of it was like run, stop. And I ended up, my timing really wasn't horrible.
What did you end with?
37.5 minutes.
That's good, bro.
So
that's really good.
It wasn't, it was very.
Do you know what the pace is?
Do the math. That'd be like an 11-minute pace.
Yeah, that's real good, bro.
12-minute pace. So it wasn't, I didn't hit my goal, but also I canceled my Runa subscription immediately after because I was mad and I was fuming to Marissa about this afterwards. Why would a running training app tell me that the best way to do this is to just go from walking to a straight, basically like sprint for me? You know what I mean? And just be like, okay, now you just do that for 3.1 miles. Like the way you should do it is like slow.
You were still walking before?
I
thought you were like doing more run. I thought you were telling me you were doing like, oh, I ran 2 miles straight today.
All of it was straight, but before I ran the 5K, like I walked as like my warm up for like 5 minutes. And then I did it. That didn't count towards it though.
I think that's like you're supposed to. I like walk no matter what. Like my body just needs to walk before I can run.
No, yeah, like no, I don't have a problem with that. I'm saying like the fact that this app that's supposed to train me on how to run told me that I should just go top speed for 3.1 miles is really stupid to me.
Well,
and the way like you should long distance run is by like going at like you start off at like a pretty conversational pace and then you slowly like build up and by the end you're going like max speed so you don't do what I did and like die at the beginning and then you're just cooked.
Yeah. Well, that's like what's been happening to me too. I've also been using Runa. Joe influenced me to get Runa. We've both been using it. And if you want me to, I'll make a spreadsheet for us because I'm going to have ChatGPT make a plan for me. Okay. It's just going to, I don't know. I'll plug in where I'm at and send in my things. Like we can do it this week and I'll make yours too. But basically, I agree with you because I had, well, like my gripe with a Runa is I got sick for 2.5 weeks, couldn't do anything, and then I go back and yesterday was my first time working out in like 2 weeks, and then it's like, you're on the last day, happy 5K day, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I was like, the only option was to pick up where you left off. It's like just start like you didn't miss anything. You can't even go back.
Did you do it?
No, dude.
Come on. You got to follow the plan.
I knew I was fucked. I was like, I still am coughing today. Like, what is happening? So
no, it's a stupid app. It trained me poorly, but now I did learn enough from it, and I think I got enough training in. So
I did like the whole like it tells me what to do aspect.
Right.
Like so we just trusted it too much.
It motivates you, and like for me, it really helps when I'm running because it'll just tell me like you're a mile in. You know what I mean? You're 2 miles in. Blah blah. But I've learned enough from it. Sensei becomes the master. I canceled my subscription. I'm coming back next week stronger than ever. I promise chat and I promise Chris I will be breaking 35 minutes on a 5K next week. Doing it the way that I see fit because I know better than those idiots at Runa.
Yeah, well, I agree too. Like I just ran because I didn't know what to do. It was my first time running with no direction, and I was like, "What do I do?" I was like, "What do I do?" So I
How
walked.
fast am I supposed to go?
I walked for 3.5 minutes.
Do I walk now?
Or no, I walked for 2 minutes. And then I ran for 9, dude. And I was flying. I was 6.1 for 9 minutes. I was like, oh, I'm going to beat this thing. I'm going to show this thing what's up. And I was dripping sweat, just like you were saying. I was dying. And I forgot that the gym is just packed with New Year's resolutioners.
Oh, yeah, it's so bad.
And I'm just dying. And then same thing as you. I crashed, couldn't do it. I'm running I was still doing 5.8, but I was doing 4-minute intervals, 6. I think I did a 6-minute to end it. I ended up doing 2.5 with a 12-minute pace or almost 13-minute pace with all the walking at the beginning. But
super solid. Dude, speaking of New Year's, though, I swear everybody in my gym right now is an Indian mother that is learning how to run for the first time. I swear.
Well, that's because you're at Planet Fitness.
Dude, I'm not gonna shame anybody, but they'll just they walk for 2 minutes and then just turn the treadmill up to 10 and flail for 30 seconds and turn it back down, and then they just get off the treadmill.
Do you ever get self-conscious on the treadmill that you this is only my first 5 runs probably. I was I gotta be boom, 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 slamming this treadmill with my legs. I'm just so heavy and fucking don't know how to run.
I don't have that issue, but what gets me is, I mean, it sounds like it shouldn't be an issue, but it kind of is. Just me realizing where I am in space because of my vision. I kind of tend to not stay in one spot on the treadmill. I tend to kind of bump up against the bar, and then I'm kind of in the back, and I'm kind of against the side rails just because it's hard for me to realize where I am in space, I guess. So the treadmills are pretty close together, and sometimes it almost feels like I'm getting in somebody's grill, you know what I mean? Because I'm just all over the place on this treadmill.
Yeah,
but I don't care. I
know what you're saying though. I give you props. When you told me that you're I only like to run on the treadmill, I was I thought for sure you'd like to run.
Outside's harder, bro. At least with the treadmill, I know it's in front of me.
Yeah, that's valid. When it's warm, though, we should start doing runs together.
I'm down.
That should be fun. But, no, I mean, I think we're both in a good place. Again, we don't really explain. Well, I guess Joe explains Shamrock Slimmer, but the goal is by St. Patty's Day, which I thought was very fitting. With Joe and I are trying to run a 5K around St. Patty's Day.
Do you want to say what your goal is? Mine is I
for
wait.
Pace?
What you want to weigh at the end. Mine, I weighed in at 160 or 176. No, sorry, 180. Gosh, 187 I weighed in at. My goal weight at the end is 170.
You weighed at what'd you weigh in at?
187. So that was kind of cheating. You know, you're doing a weight loss challenge. You're going to juice up a little bit beforehand. So I slammed a couple of waters and I ate like 2 chicken breasts and then I hopped on the scale. So I was at 187 when I weighed in for that. And then the following morning when I weighed in, I was at 184. So as of right now.
You want to do 170, you said?
Yeah, as of right now, I need to lose 14 pounds in, give or take 3 months. That's my goal.
Damn, dude. I would like to be... I weighed in at 240.
I could not believe that when you told me that. And that's a compliment. You do not look 240, but that's a lot, dude.
Okay. My goal for the last 3 years, and I've worked out, I think I worked out like 250 days last year or something. So like my goal has never been like to run or to look skinny. My goal has been I want to wear a triple or quadruple XL, and people are like, "Oh, that guy's big."
Okay.
Like, but big in like a way that's like solid, and I wouldn't want to fight him versus like fat big.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of teeter the line. So like, when I first realized I weighed 240, which was like a long time ago. I weigh myself frequently. I weigh myself every time I go to the gym. But like, it was probably, I don't know, like when Teresa and I like first started dating for like 3 or 4 months because I like gave up on beef bowls and all that.
Yeah. And then you took off your shirt for the first time and she was like, Jesus Christ. You took off that quadruple XL and she's like, oh my God.
At first I was upset. Then I realized like, oh, I was like 225, 230, like probably like way before this. And like, I don't look that bad. Like, I feel like my body is very solid for where it's at. So
you look good for that weight, 100%.
Thank you. And obviously it helps when you're 6'1", dude. I'm just kidding. 6 foot.
Dude, like
6 foot. 6 foot.
Even still though, like that weight on that frame on any other person would look insane.
That's what I'm saying, because I truly believe, muscle weighs more than fat and whatever. I'm not trying to be that guy. But I've only been lifting with no cardio for like the last 500 workouts in my heavy app, which have been 2 years.
Bulk for 2 years.
And I have been eating an insane amount of protein just by living by myself. I don't know what to eat, so I just make ground beef and I just make chicken and eat rotisserie chickens. Like I just eat like a freak. So like a part of me is like, okay, I think yes, I'm overweight and like I don't love the way I look in the mirror and like abs would be cool. So I say all that, just my goal is like 220, dude. I just want to get down to 220. I think 220, my body would start looking like pretty jacked.
I think you'd be cut, dude.
So
at 220.
That's what and that was always the goal in high school. I always weighed 195 to like 205, and I was like, I'll get college offers if I'm 225 lean, and now I'm like 240 fat, and I'm like, what was that guy thinking?
It's a fine line.
I can't run 2 miles anymore. Right. No.
What are we looking at for time?
I would say we probably got like 5 to 10 minutes.
All right, let's get into Begonia.
Yes.
Spoilers ahead. If you have not watched Begonia, which if you are in my inner circle, I have told you that I've watched Begonia, and if you haven't seen it, watch before this episode because we would be talking about it. Quick synopsis. Guy and his mentally disabled brother living out in the woods.
It's the same director as Poor Things, by the way.
I have not seen Poor Things. George just told me about it, and the way he described it made me almost want to throw up.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it should be legal to make a movie about that.
But so it's this guy and his brother. They're living out in a barn, and as the movie continues, you can tell the more coherent brother is kind of convincing his other brother something's afoot. There are aliens around. They need to plan and prepare and execute on a plan, which they do. They kidnap a lady CEO who he's convinced he's an alien. They basically keep her for a while, torture her, try and extract some answers out of her. And then at the end of the movie, it turns out he was right. And she was an alien the entire time. And he was trying to get up into the mothership. And he was incredibly close until he blew off his head with an improvised explosive device that he made.
I love the plot. Like Joe and I just watched that, and we watched Marty Supreme, and I was like, I honestly think I like that more.
crazy to me. I mean, I
think the
it.
acting's better in Marty Supreme, but I love. Okay, I've always been wondering what this guy's name is. Shout out Jesse Plemons, dude. That's the guy's name that was in Begonia, the main guy. And he's also chat. This is what this guy looks like. He also is in a show that I just watched called All Her Fault.
Yeah.
Where he like his wife kills somebody and he's like he always plays the same like awkward weirdo, like
he's really good at it.
Whatever. I think I just watched a movie called Game Night where he's the neighbor and he's a cop and he's like, I brought some chips over, like can I play with you guys? And they're like, no.
What is the line from that where he's walking out with the chips or whatever and he goes, a lot of chips, you having a party? And he's like, no, they were having a sale.
Yeah, exactly. He's like carrying all this stuff in for a game
it's like
night.
30 bags of chips.
Yeah.
He's like,
had such a good time with you last time.
They had a deal. It was like 5 bags of chips for like $2, and he's like, "How are they making money off that?"
Yeah.
But no, so Begonia, it was a great film, and I think this is something we should talk about. Though, is like, I love the premise. The entire movie, you're assuming this guy's a psycho. He's a psycho kidnapper, and then at the end, it turns out he was right.
Correct. So he kidnaps Emma Stone, who is like a corporate CEO boss lady who makes great money, and didn't it kind of take a little bit? It took like 20 minutes for him to like be like, I think you're an alien.
No,
I feel like. Do you think he said it right away?
Yeah, it was immediate. It was the first thing he was looking at her, and he was talking about her features. She's like your webbed toes and your weird cheeks. Yeah. They tried, but they didn't fool me.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So he's saying all this stuff the whole time, and I forget what he was calling her, but he was like, "You're an
Andromedan."
Andromedan, yeah.
Andromeda's the closest galaxy to the Milky Way.
Yeah, and he's got all these pictures, and they show all this stuff of like what the ship used to look like, and what they were doing it for, and whatever. And then
she's framing him as like a psychopath, obviously. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not an alien, like, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then she starts playing along with it, and you assume she's just playing along with it to get out of it.
Yeah.
Turns out he was right the entire time. But I love that premise that he was convicted, or he was not convicted. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, he was very assured in the fact that she was an alien.
Yeah.
And like he looks like ridiculous, and like everybody, like it's like, oh my god, I got to figure this out because the ship's coming, and like it's this whole like race until the ship comes, and he's about to get teleported up into the ship until he dies, and then she goes up to the ship, and then she says like, hey, the human experiment didn't work out, kill them all, and then everybody's dead.
Yeah.
So he was the only one that could have saved everybody, even though he seemed like the crazy one.
Exactly. Well, didn't she basically say that? Maybe so. I fell asleep the first time, then I woke up the next day and had to watch it again.
Yeah, it sounds like you loved it.
I did love it, though. I will say, I like whatever. And wasn't there only like 5 real humans and everyone was an alien? Mm-hmm. Wasn't that the situation?
No, there was like 10 aliens and everybody else was a real human.
Oh, I thought. Wait. Are you sure? Because didn't they just clean up the whole like bomb thing and they were like, oh yeah, we just gotta get rid of this. Like it's no big deal.
No. So like she almost died, and then they took her into an ambulance, and while they were taking her away on the ambulance, she sneaks out of the ambulance and goes up to where she was trying to beam him up, and then she beams up and then kills everyone.
Okay. Well, I remember her like talking to all the people with like the long hair, like all that nonsense or whatever.
Yeah. No, there was like 10 aliens, and like. But remember when she finds the bodies in his house and she was like, how many of them were Andromedans or whatever? And then he's like, 2. And then she's like, she explains the whole background of like, there used to be, these great people like Atlantis and all this stuff. And then they got wiped out. And then the people went on an ark, and the people that came back breeded with monkeys. And now you guys are all animalistic half-breeds, blah, blah, blah. And then that's why she thought like all the current humans were like idiots, basically.
Okay.
And why she killed them all.
Okay.
But I did, like I said, I love the premise of you being right, even though it seems ridiculous, and you following through with it.
Right.
Dude, how would you, if you fell down like a rabbit hole like that and got absolutely convinced, which I actually could see you doing that with how much you go on ChatGPT. It takes you searching up like 3 of the wrong questions to ChatGPT, and you're going to take whatever it says as fact and just run with it. But how would you operate knowing that nobody in the world is going to believe you, obviously, and what you're doing is illegal by human standards, but you're the only person that can save humanity.
Well, I don't know, bro, because I already feel like I am that person. Remember that story I told about me seeing the UFO, and then I'm like, I took videos and it got deleted and all that?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that happened to me.
But you didn't act on it, though.
I sent it to everybody. I talk about it all the time, but, like, what am I supposed to do about it?
Research it more and find it again. Get beamed up to it.
What do you think I do? Treaty. I watch so much alien shit. I, like, always am watching videos about... I forget what the guy's name was. The guy that went on Rogan that talked about like how he used to work in one and reverse engineered it, but they couldn't figure out how to fly it.
I always forget that guy's name. Alan something.
Lazard.
Alan
something.
Lazard, yeah.
I think that's his name.
Bob Lazard. Wait, Alan Lazard is the receiver, isn't he? Yeah. No, Bob Lazard. Yeah.
But yeah, I am very fascinated by it. I'm very fascinated by conspiracy theories, and like that could be the reason that I am. But I think I also learned that like it would be very easy to censor somebody who knows too much, like myself.
Yeah, unless you do it right, go live out, be a beekeeper in a barn, and kidnap a CEO. I think you should do that.
But that was crazy. He was a beekeeper too. I forgot.
I know, weird kind of twist. Well, I mean, it had like a lot of allegory to them controlling the hive and the queen bee and all that stuff, and killing the worker bees. I don't know. Yeah. But the last thing, I guess, with that, I watched a pretty decent documentary that kind of discussed all the different times that we have sent stuff into space or like beamed radio kind of messages into space, kind of hoping that one day it's intercepted. Just to start, the two different types of stuff that we've
like
sent up there.
Bad signal.
Yeah, kind of like in a bad way. It's not like we need help. It's more so like come kill us if you're more advanced than us. But so the two different types of stuff that we've sent out there, the physical stuff that we've sent has all been aboard like different spacecrafts. There's been 3 or 4 different spacecrafts that we sent kind of just into like interstellar space. Like they went out there, orbited whatever we wanted it to orbit, and then we just shot it out into space so that it could see its surroundings until we lose signal with it. And they've put like a few different items on those. Like the first one was a gold-plated disc, and it had... Well, the first one had like some images on it, right? So like they tried to think of what was universal, and the first one was like a symbol of like a hydrogen atom because that's the most abundant resource in the universe. And then it had like some basic like math elements to it, and then kind of like a diagram of our like star system, kind of with an arrow pointing to where we are, and then the trajectory of the like satellite or whatever, so that they could kind of like deduce where we might be if they were to describe it. So they tried to make it like very simplistic so anybody could see it, because you have no idea how an alien's gonna interpret numbers or anything, right? Like it's impossible to decipher. So they tried to go with like the most basic elements of the universe, right? And then the other one,
I feel like I would throw a smiley face up there. Like I would send a smiley face.
Well, you don't know if they look like us at all. They might not really even have faces.
Yeah, but most things have faces.
You don't know that. On Earth?
Yeah, I get it, but that's what I would send up there. what would you, if you get to pick one symbol, what would you send up there?
I mean...
Or an arrow is pretty good, though.
An arrow seems pretty universal. I think hydrogen was like a really smart one. Like go with like the fundamental building blocks of the universe so that they can kind of like. But so the smart thing to me is you have to use like some sort of like a code with like pictures. You know what I mean? So like let's say like that, which they did kind of like further down the line. But like let's say like you put a picture of a human and then you put like man underneath it, and then you know what I mean? Like and you just use symbols to identify the words, and then you almost use it as like a crypt to like decipher. But the second physical object that they sent up there was an actual, like, record. So I don't know how they thought, like, an alien is going to look at that and be like, we should put a little stick on it. It's going to start making music. But it had, like, a bunch of messages from, like, the world leaders in a bunch of different languages saying, we come in peace. It had a bunch of music, like Beethoven and Bach and stuff like that. Because I guess music theoretically should be kind of universal, right? Like, they wanted it to display, like, the human like emotion, right? Like the condition of in that sense. So that was kind of like the two physical things they sent, which I don't think either of those would really like pan out too well. But
here's devil's advocate is like if they're smart enough to get to us, then they're smart enough to play a record.
Right, but like, do we necessarily know if they're smart enough to get to us?
I've seen them.
Would we be?
I know.
Yeah, I guess. But think about like if something like that crash landed on Earth, we'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah, they're too smart to crash here, bro. They're just gonna fly back.
Yeah.
They could probably fix their jet and then fly right back.
No, I'm saying like if some satellite fell, like, dude, it's not like a given that every other like if there are other civilizations, like other alien life forms or something like that, it's not a given that they're more advanced than us.
If they can get here, they are.
Well, you're right, but like it's not a given that they can get here. Like think about it like us, right? So like if we just send something out, there might be other.
No, I agree. You know? It's not like if something falls out of the sky, whatever. But if something falls out of the sky and then flies back, then you're like, these people are smarter than us.
Right. Well, yeah, that's fair. So that was half of it, and then the other half, which I thought this was the waste stupid. Like this was so dumb that they thought that this would ever work. So first off, the way they chose their targets, I mean, I'm sure you've heard of like exoplanets, like planets that are similar in theory to Earth, and they're in what you call like the habitable zone. Like they're a distance away from the sun and a size large enough to where it should be able to hold liquid water. That's how they kind of classify that. So that's how they chose where they would beam these messages to with radio waves, and this kind of came with the like, I guess like the invention of God, why am I blanking? What are those huge like disc things called that like look up in the sky? Not like telescopes, but like
not drones.
No, like it's like a huge disc that like looks up into the night sky.
Satellite?
No, dude, damn it, it's on the ground. Why am I blanking on the word? Whatever. So whatever those things are called, chat, comment down below if you know what that's called. But those can like beam radio waves up into space, and the way that they decided what they were gonna beam out there, because we have like received some signals, kind of like with radio frequencies, where it's like it's unnatural, right? Like it shouldn't be happening, and we thought that it might be alien, but we couldn't decipher it. So our thought process was, if we send it out there at different intervals of like pulses or like durations or frequencies or something like that, and do it in like a binary scale, so it's like boop beep boop beep, you know what I mean? Like they can kind of decipher like what we're trying to say to them.
You think that's dumb?
I think that's really stupid, because the way that they did it, they would make a whole message, but it would be a picture. So like picture like a square that has like, let's say like a smiley face in it, right? And like each pixel is turned into a different square, right? And each one of those squares get converted into binary, where the dark ones are, you know, boop, and the light ones are beep, and then we just beam that out into space, so that if a alien life form intercepted this and they did like, okay, that's boop 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 boop, they would have to like get all that, but it would be like in a string, and then they would have to like conform it into like a square to be able to be like, oh, okay, some life form has sent us a smiley face.
Yeah.
It seems so convoluted. Yeah. Like nobody would ever be able to figure that out.
I don't know. I'm not going to be able to explain it, but that's just like, that's like, what's it called? Binary or whatever. Binary functions.
Right.
Where when I took my coding class, that was like the first thing that they taught us, was that like everything in the world is made up of like a binary function, which is just one. I forget if it's 1 or 0 or
it's ones and zeros.
That's but what I don't remember again, but I think that it was like everything in the world is made up of 1s and 0s. Like every text, everything we look at, everything we like, every single thing in the world is just binary, that you can just like.
I think you're thinking of the Matrix, dude.
I don't know. I can't. Again, I did. It was like 6th grade, and it was like I was in the first ever class where they just like let us make an app in code.
Yeah.
And like that was what they taught us, was that like everything is binary.
I understand binary, but if you're beaming this stuff through space where there's so much interference and like so much time for your message to get like garbled, and like the places that we're sending it to, a lot of them we didn't even know if there were exoplanets, or if the exoplanets had water, or if there were multiple of them. Like they would just like see a star and they're like, this star looks like it could have exoplanets, so let's just beam it out there. And like most of them are so far away. The soonest that we could hear back from one of the planets that we've sent one of these messages to, if they did return a message, it's actually not that far. It would be 2031. But that would be like, if the closest one that we sent one to, if they did have a planet that had intelligent life, received our message, understood it, and then beamed one back exactly to us.
Yeah.
And the tough part is, like, these... It's really... Are those called satellites? No, what are they called, dude?
I looked it up, and their Google didn't even have an answer for me.
I can't believe that I can't remember what those are called. But they're not, like... They can't cover that much of, like, the night sky, right? When they're receiving things. So, like, the chances of us even intercepting one of these, because the messages last for, like, 8 minutes. So you would need one of them.
What are the odds it's aimed in the right...
Perfect spot for that exact amount of time.
I agree.
You know, I don't know.
I think it's weird to be able to contact them. I think it is funny, though, how the whole time I've been thinking, it's funny how, like, locally... spotlights are still a thing. Like, they still work. Like, if you just shoot a light that moves in the air and just goes around, it attracts people.
I haven't
always
seen one of those
see
in
them.
a while, but have you ever, like, driven to
like,
the source of one?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, it was like a haunted house.
Oh, well. Did it work? Did you go in?
No. I was like, I don't want to do this right now. But I'm glad I figured out what it was.
Yeah.
One time it was a haunted house. One time it was a grand opening of a barbecue restaurant.
I
did get food there.
Dude, what the hell? I've never met somebody that followed those.
Dude, it's so fun to follow those bitches, bro.
I don't even know how you would do that. That seems dangerous. You're just, like, staring up at the sky, like, trying.
That's exactly what it was. It was basically like, oh, it's that way. It's that way. You got to be with somebody, and then that person's like left, right, left. You're like going on an angle the whole time.
I'm picturing Interstellar where they're chasing the drone, and he's like, "Don't lose it, Murph." And then he's like driving through all the corn, trying to find it.
Pretty much. You're like, you don't care what's in front of you. You're like, I gotta get to this thing.
Yeah, but I think it's very interesting. Like, the reason mainly why I want to talk about it, Begonia made me think of it, but I think it's just so funny that we pay so much money for this technology that's supposed to, like, give us vast knowledge, and then we're just like, boop, boop, here's a song, like, you know, hopefully an alien hears this, and, like, we're just shooting blanks up into space.
Wow, I have a different theory, and then we do gotta cut it short here, but my theory is just, like, we know that they're smarter than us. We're just, like, being dumb, and, like, we don't know what to do to contact them, so it's like, let's just try everything we can, and, like, maybe something will stick. But I think that, like, we know that they are smarter than us because they have gotten items and objects here before we have gotten anything to them. And they seems as if they have came here and left, not came here and stayed. So, like, I think we know that they're smarter than us. It's just like, let's just try and say hi. Like, let's just see. And
come back. We miss you. I think more so the U.S. government is in cahoots with aliens. That's my theory. I think
100%. That's why, like, when the UFOs got exposed, they, like, hid them for months and months and months, and then they released all the documents, but they, like, did it so silently that nobody knew what was going on. I read them, boys, though. I looked at them pictures. I read them articles. Page
release of that.
I just read the summary, like, the most important parts of it. But I looked at the pictures, which is the most important. So
that is the most important.
Love you guys. Again, 17 subs.
26. Episode 26 for 2026. Very fitting. I'm dripping sweat. Get us to Toledo. We need a vacation, man. We've been working too damn hard out here.
Yeah, we got to eat that Toledo beef.
We've been sick. We've been on the carnivore diet. God damn,
we're healthy enough to go to Toledo, though.
Get us out of here, man. Come on. Love you guys, though. Another great episode, and we're excited for a great year.
We are. You got any
Alan Lazard? Alien Lazard?
Alien Lazard.
You're making it too obvious.